Perdurantism or perdurance theory is a philosophical theory of persistence and identity. The perdurantist view is that an individual has distinct temporal parts throughout its existence. Perdurantism is usually presented as the antipode to endurantism, the view that an individual is wholly present at every moment of its existence. The use of endure and perdure to distinguish two ways in which an object can be thought to persist can be traced to David Kellogg Lewis. However, contemporary debate has demonstrated the difficulties in defining perdurantism. For instance, the work of Ted Sider has suggested that even enduring objects can have temporal parts, and it is more accurate to define perdurantism as being the claim that objects have a temporal part at every instant that they exist. However, as Stuchlik states, the stage theory will not work under the possibility of gunky time, which states that for every interval of time, there is a subinterval, and according to Zimmerman, there have been many self-professed perdurantists who believe that time is gunky or contains no instants. Some perdurantists think this means there are no instants, since they define these as intervals of time with no subintervals. Currently there is no universally acknowledged definition of perdurantism and Merricks. Others argue that this problem is avoided by creating time as a continuous function, rather than a discrete one. Perdurantism is also referred to as four-dimensionalism, but perdurantism also applies if one believes there are temporal but non-spatial abstract entities. Worm theorists and stage theorists, perdurantists break into two distinct subgroups, worm theorists, and stage theorists. Worm theorists believe that a persisting object is composed of the various temporal parts that it has. Thus, they believe that all persisting objects are four-dimensional worms that stretch across space-time, and that you are mistaken in believing that chairs, mountains, and people are simply three-dimensional. Stage theorists take you to be identical with a particular temporal part at any given time. So, in a manner of speaking, a subject only exists for an instantaneous period of time. However, there are other temporal parts at other times which that subject is related to in a certain way, such that when someone says that they were a child, or that they will be an elderly person, these things are true, because they bear a special identity-like relation to a temporal part that is a child or a temporal part that is an elderly person. Stage theorists are sometimes called endurantists. Arguments supporting perdurantism. A number of authors have advanced arguments supporting perdurantism, ranging from problems in logic, to the problem of temporary intrinsics, to the problems of the ship of Theseus. A survey can be found in Sider. See also, Counterpart Theory, World Line. Notes. External links, Temporal Parts at the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. References, Lewis, D.K. 1986. On the Plurality of Worlds, Oxford, Blackwell, Mackinnon, N. 2002. The Endurance-Perdurance Distinction, The Australasian Journal of Philosophy, 83 pages 288-306. Merricks, T. 1999. Persistence, Parts in Presentism, No. S. 33 pages 421-38. Sider, T. 2001. Four-Dimensionalism, Oxford, Clarendon Press. Joshua M. Stuchlik, Not All Worlds Are Stages, Philosophical Studies, An International Journal for Philosophy in the Analytic Tradition, Volume 116, No. 3, pages 309-321, Zimmerman, D. 1996. Persistence and Presentism, Philosophical Papers 25, 2.